Hey there, friend. Let's create a quarterly marketing strategy for your business. I'm Candice Coppola. Thanks for joining me today. Inside this workshop, I will walk you through creating a quarterly marketing strategy for your business. If marketing has felt hard for you, if you feel like you never have a marketing plan, so you're just always flying by the seat of your pants, this workshop is going to help. Now, before we get started, I want to make sure that you know I've created a special workbook for you that you can use to create your quarterly marketing strategy. You can click the link below this video to grab your workbook. And also, what's very cool about this workbook is you can use it every single quarter to follow the same steps and answer the same questions to create a new marketing strategy that hits your goals and helps to grow your business. So please use this resource quarter over quarter to grow your business. Now, if this is the first time we are meeting, hello, my name is Candice. It's so great to meet you. I'm a business coach. I'm absolutely obsessed with all things skincare and Bravo, and I'm living my absolute best life in Barbados in the Caribbean, where I currently reside. I'm originally from Connecticut in the States. And I host a podcast, The Power and Purpose, and it's where I talk about all things business and all things wedding industry. I'm also your expert in residence here inside the HoneyBook Community, which basically means I'm your business BFF. And over the next several months, I'll be in the community teaching trainings like this one, helping to support your business, revealing the strategies I use to grow my business, and also answering all your juicy business questions. So please make sure that you connect with me inside the community. I wear a lot of hats in my business, and as a business coach, I also support people in their business. And people often ask me, how do I keep up with all of my marketing? Because I do have a ton of marketing and I seem to be everywhere. That's on purpose. Not only do I have a podcast, but I'm also on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I email my list regularly. I have lots and lots of blog posts and SEO driving traffic to me and my offers. And so it's no wonder that people ask me all the time, how do I do it all? And the answer is actually pretty simple. I have a strategy. That is the secret behind my marketing. And I also have a little bit of help. I do have some team members who support me in a contractor basis, helping me write copy or helping me do certain marketing tasks. But by and large, most of my marketing is done by me. And I'm sure most of your marketing is done by you. And that's because 47% of small businesses do all of their own marketing themselves. Almost half of all small business owners are in charge of their marketing. And when you think about all the things that small business owners have to be responsible for, adding marketing to the mix, it's no wonder why we all feel like marketing is so hard and we never necessarily put the time aside that we know we should to marketing our business. Because how do we make space for something when we're in charge of so much in our business? Marketing is hard. And this is what I hear all the time. Let me know if any of this resonates with you. It's certainly things I've said to myself, let alone have heard from my fellow entrepreneurs. I don't know what I should be doing. There's so much I can try with marketing. What really works? I don't know how to create a marketing strategy. It feels hard to do, and I never make the time. I'm sick of marketing. I feel this one on a cellular level. Some days I just want to never market my business again and disappear. And that's because marketing never ends. It's always the last thing on our to-do list too, because it's never the priority. Client work, other business stuff always takes precedent over marketing, and marketing constantly finds its way to the back burner where it should never be, because your business needs to make money. And in order to make money, you need to market. Today, I'm hoping to help you work through all of this and ultimately make marketing a priority on your to-do list, and also make it easy for you to figure out a marketing strategy, to set one, and also to know what you should be doing and what you should be trying. Now, before we go into the workshop portion of our time together, I do want to set the tone for what marketing is and what I believe the definition of marketing is, so we're both on the same page. Marketing is simply sharing your message so that it attracts the right people. That's what marketing means to me. Marketing isn't Instagram. It's not a podcast episode or an email blast that you might send out to your customers. Marketing is simply sharing your message so that it attracts and reaches the right people. Take my definition of marketing with you today as we move through the questions and the prompts to create the strategy, and keep this at the center of all of your answers and the strategy that you create. If marketing is simply sharing your message so that it attracts the right people, then the questions we really need to be answering are, what is your message and who do you want to attract? If you have a good marketing message, you have a message, you know what it is that you do for your customers, and you know who your customers are, marketing becomes so much easier, no matter what your niche, no matter what you do for people or what products or services you have to offer. Marketing is simply sharing your message so that it attracts the right people. Now, in order for us to share your message, we need to have a strategy. And I think a quarterly marketing strategy, one we create every 90 days, needs to be a few things. First, it needs to be strategic. There must be a reason for why you're marketing. What's the purpose? Next, it has to be motivating because, listen, marketing is hard and we need to have some fun. We also need to see results because results are motivating. Marketing needs to be easy to follow because we have so much to do as small business owners. And if we're responsible for marketing in addition to everything else, we need it to be easy because nothing is going to tank a marketing plan faster than friction. We also need it to be easy to measure. A good marketing plan has KPIs to measure your success. And finally, it needs to share your message so that it attracts and reaches the right people, because that, my friend, is what marketing is. This is what a quarterly marketing strategy needs to be. And lucky for you, this is baked into your workbook, and it's also baked into the training that's going to follow here now. I've got this all set up for you. So as you are creating your marketing plan, think about how you can make it strategic, motivating, easy to follow, easy to measure, and a simple way to share your message so that it attracts the right people. Now, as we get started, inside your workbook, I want us to first look backward. A business strategy forward always begins by looking backward. So before we create a strategy for the upcoming quarter and decide on your marketing, we need to evaluate some metrics for the previous quarter, because a good indication of future behavior is past. We need to figure out what worked and what didn't. So I have a few questions I want you to answer. The first being, where were you successful in your marketing? Take some time today to write in your workbook the things that worked well for you in the last quarter. I also want you to note what goals or targets you hit with your marketing strategy last quarter, even if you didn't have a legitimate marketing strategy. What were you able to accomplish? How much did you sell? What new clients did you book? What connections did you create? How did you push yourself past your comfort zone? Next, where did things fall short? So we can acknowledge the good, but we also need to acknowledge where we may need to change things up or where we need to work a little bit harder. And so where did things fall short for you in your marketing? Did you get lazy? Did you overdo it and not have enough time to get through all of your projects? Did you try something and it didn't work? Where did things fall short? These areas are areas we can either improve or just release. And finally, what were your sales from the previous quarter? All of your marketing efforts, everything you did, all of those posts on Instagram, those emails you sent, those connections you made, what did they equate to in sales? This is an important metric to understand. And now that we've answered some simple questions about the previous quarter, let's take a look at your KPIs, which is short for key performance indicators. Every business needs to have KPIs that help you measure how different strategies are working in your business. And in marketing, we often look to metrics and figures to understand growth and whether things are working for us or not. Here is an example of some KPIs that you can review and measure. Things like website traffic, the number of new people who landed on your email list or opted in to hear from you, what your email open rates are or engagement rates, your Instagram engagement, how many people followed you or commented, or the total volume of people engaged with your content, any press or publicity you got, any relationships that you forged or nurtured, the number of podcast downloads you got, YouTube views, and the list goes on, because KPIs are often very subjective to your unique business. Inside your workbook, I've given you space to write down some of these KPIs. I want to encourage you to make space for the KPIs that matter most to you. And we're looking to actually see how much of this worked for you and create some benchmarks as we go forward. When we do this again in the following quarter, you can review some of your KPIs and actually see what you should be striving for or how growth is happening in your business. Next, I want us to take a look at conversion results. And inside your workbook, you'll see a simple table where you can begin to fill out conversions. The purpose of marketing is to share your message so that it attracts the right people. And the purpose of business is to solve the problem of its customers. What we need to do is measure in sales how effective your marketing was. To do this, we have some conversions that we can look at, and they include the total number of new leads your business received in the last quarter, the total number of sales calls or consultations you hosted if you host those in your business, the total number of proposals you sent in HoneyBook, and how many of those proposals actually turned into signed contracts, the total number of invoices that were paid, and products sold. Understanding your conversions will help you to understand how your marketing is working and where you might be able to turn up the volume in areas and create more conversions and get better results. So take a few moments. You can pause this video if you'd like and go take a look in your HoneyBook for new leads, how many of those leads converted into consults and how many of those consults converted into proposals, and so on and so forth. These numbers will really help you understand how the sales flow is going in your business. Now that we've looked backward and we have some benchmarks, we can apply what we've learned from our past towards our future. And this really begins by setting some goals with your marketing. I want to share some common marketing goals that most business owners have when they create a marketing strategy to get the juices flowing and get you inspired. So here are some common marketing goals that I have when I create a marketing strategy, and I think you should have too. The first is to share your message as frequently and as often as you can, because marketing is simply sharing your message so it reaches the right people. Next, build brand awareness. This is an underrated and undervalued goal, but sometimes marketing isn't getting people to just purchase from you. It's about them becoming aware of who you are and what you do, building brand awareness. Next, we want to accelerate the know, like, and trust factor. This is a popular methodology in marketing, and it goes like this. In order for somebody to buy from you, they first need to know you, and that's where brand awareness comes in. Then they need to like you. So you have to create some kind of connection because we don't want to do business with people we don't like. And then they need to trust you. Nobody is giving you any money unless they feel like they can trust you. Your marketing should help to accelerate the know, like, and trust factor, leading people through this so that ultimately they turn into a customer when they're ready. Another marketing goal is to move your ideal client to take action. We want our marketing to be action-oriented. And later on in this workshop, we'll think up and dream up some calls to action you can add to your marketing. But marketing, we want to move people to do something in our marketing. And finally, a common goal in marketing is to sell. You want to sell your services, you want to sell your product, whatever it is that your business does. Our goal is to turn our marketing into actual clients and sales. Now, inside your workbook, I'm going to ask you to create some goals for your marketing, and I want you to take into consideration these goals and also come up with goals that are unique to you and your business. Now that we've reached this stage, it's time for us to create our marketing strategy, our marketing plan. Let's create something that aligns with your goals and visions for the next 90 days. Your first step is to understand your capacity and your limits. I think that this is underrated, and it's something that we don't often ask ourselves is, what do I have the capacity for? Since we're looking at 90 days in advance, we're looking at a full quarter of time. This gives you the opportunity to look at your calendar, look at your social life, look at your family life, look at the client work and deadlines and other projects on your plate, and take into consideration all of that so you know what your capacity is and your limits are. There's nothing worse than having the best marketing plan ever, but having no time or capacity to execute it. So this is your chance to get real with yourself and decide what those capacities and limits are. Next, I want you to answer the question, how do you want your marketing to feel? I'm big on feelings, especially in business. I think sometimes we believe that things must feel hard and challenging in order for them to be effective. But I actually think the opposite. I think when it comes to business, we should always try to have fun. Things should feel aligned. They should feel intuitive. And so I ask you, how do you want your marketing to feel over the next 90 days? Do you want it to feel exciting? Do you want it to flow? Do you want it to feel easy? Do you want it to feel strategic? Do you want it to feel goal-oriented? All of those words I just used are great indicators now of how you can move forward with your marketing plan. I want you to ask yourself, how do I want my marketing to feel? And then I want us to create a strategy that applies those feelings to it. So if you want your marketing to feel challenging, well, let's create a challenging marketing strategy. If you want it to feel light and easy, let's create a light and easy marketing strategy. How does it feel? An important question to ask yourself anytime you create any kind of strategy. Next, we need to set our goals and targets. I shared some common goals and targets that many entrepreneurs have. Feel free to use the ones that resonate with you for this quarter and add in any other goals or metrics you would like to. Other goals and targets you can add are selling a certain level of service or landing a certain amount of customers or a sales goal or other types of goals related to the marketing that you'll do. I want you then to define your marketing channels, and you'll see an area in your workbook where you can do this. I want you to really consider how you're going to take the capacity and limits you have, how you want your marketing to feel, and the goals and targets you've set, and decide on which marketing channels are best going to suit all three of those items. Maybe this is a quarter where you are on Instagram and you're on YouTube, but you leave all your other marketing channels aside because you don't have the capacity or it doesn't meet your goals. This is your chance to choose your marketing channels where you will spread your message to your ideal clients. I've given you 5 columns to choose from, but you don't need to have 5 marketing channels. Sometimes the most effective form of marketing is going all in on one place. After you've defined your marketing channels, let's consider your client's reality. When you can put yourself in your customer's shoes in this moment and period in their life, you will now start to think of ways that you can connect with them to help solve the problems they're experiencing. Businesses exist to solve the problems of their customers. And so put yourself in your customer's shoes, in their reality, in this very moment throughout the quarter, and ask yourself, what are they experiencing right now in their lives? And as it relates to what I do for my customers. From that, you can begin to create content buckets and themes. I think content buckets and themes to marketing help to make marketing so much easier. So here's an invitation to think up some themes or content buckets that you can use in your marketing. These are things like sharing constantly tips and tricks that your clients might find helpful or interesting, maybe inspiration or before and afters or behind the scenes, or all different types of common content buckets that many business owners have. This will, of course, be very personal to your business, so have some fun here. But these content buckets and these themes, they really do help to make marketing so much easier because your goal is just to fill up these content buckets with content on the channels you have chosen. Next, you need to decide on your calls to action, or your CTAs. Inside your workbook, I've given you some space to think of calls to action. And a call to action can be many things. I think most of us consider a call to action being purchase now or add to cart, but you can also have other calls to action where somebody subscribes to your podcast, or they follow you on Instagram, or they opt in and download a lead magnet or a freebie you've created. So also consider the free ways that people connect with you or go a little bit further in their relationship with you, and decide on what those calls to action are going to be inside your marketing for the quarter. Next, I want you to prune what you've put together. I think pruning is seriously needed when we create strategies, and this is also an underdog and underrated. You might be ideating and thinking through lots of really great ideas, and they may not all be doable based on your capacity and limits and just the amount of time you have. This is your opportunity to prune and get very specific and strategic. Take ideas that can be done later or should be saved for later, and make your marketing plan strategic and easy. Finally, I want us to put this into action. Once you have thought through all of these questions that I proposed to you today and you've mapped this out in your workbook, it's time for you to really consider what it's going to take and to take this plan and start implementing it. Taking your first next step when it comes to marketing. This is often the hardest thing to do because we're full of great ideas, right? What do we do now? My advice would be to map out some simple next steps to get the ball rolling on initiating your quarterly marketing strategy. And before you end the workshop, and the final question in your workbook is a question that will help you really prioritize your marketing for this quarter. And this is where I come in as your business coach and give you a bit of a pep talk. Please do not be disappointed by the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. You need to make your plans a priority. In fact, there are an untold number of customers out there who are waiting for you to show up in your marketing, who are waiting for you to share your message so that they can be attracted to it, so they can hire you or buy from you to ease the problem they're facing. And you're doing them a disservice by not prioritizing your marketing plan. I don't want you to go another quarter feeling like your marketing isn't working or like you don't have a strategy. Make sure that you prioritize our time today and the plans you've created so that you're not disappointed when the quarter is over. All right, here is what happens next. I want you to share your plans in the community. Head to our conversation thread and share some of your goals and intentions for the quarter with everyone as it relates to marketing. And make sure you join me for one of my Ask Me Anything sessions inside the community. I'm answering all of your juicy business questions, and I would love to actually answer any questions you have around marketing. Let's also stay connected in the community where we can check in, collaborate, and work together. There are plenty of honeybookers in the community who are facing the same challenges you are in your business with marketing, and they also offer plenty of services. So you might even be able to hire somebody from the community to help you this quarter with your marketing. All right, friend, it's time for you to get into your workbook. Good luck in creating your marketing strategy, and thank you for joining me today and giving me the chance to present to you how I create my marketing strategy in my business. I'll see you soon.